right, we are going to graph this system of equations so we can find the solution. Now, there's three things that can happen. The first thing that can happen is they intersect. Then you'll have one solution right here. The second thing that can happen is you have parallel lines. If you have parallel lines, you're going to click on no solution. If they intersect at one solution, you would click on this little box over here because you'll actually find the ordered pair. And then the third thing that can happen is you graph one line and then you graph another line completely on top of it. It's a line on top of a line. So when you have this situation, that would be infinitely many solutions. Now, I don't know what it's going to generate for you, and it might ask you to do several of them, so that would be all three situations. So I'm going to start with my first equation, which is this top one here, and it says y equals -1/2 x plus 1. Now, the y-intercept is the +1, and the slope is the -1/2. So I'm going to start at +1 on the y-axis, and then from that point I have to go down 1 and over to the right 2. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 1, 2. Here's another point on the line. Now, because I'm doing this by hand, I'm going to use the slope several times. Down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Or you could go up 1, but then you'd have to go 2 to the left. Up 1, 2 to the left. Up 1, 2 to the left. And I don't have a ruler, so I'm just going to eyeball this. If I drew my line in, it would look something like that. So ignore the staircase. Then I'm going to do the other equation in a dark blue. But the other equation is not in the slope-intercept form. It needs to be solved for y. So I would subtract the 2x to cancel that out. That's going to give me y equals, and I'm going to put the subtract 2x in front of the 7. So it's -2x plus 7. The +7 is my y-intercept, and the -2, which is really -2 over 1, that's my slope. So I'm going to start at the 7 on the y-axis, and then for my slope I'm going to go down 1, 2 over 1. There's another point. Down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And I can already see when I draw my line, it's not perfect, but I'll put it in a bright, how about green? They're going to intersect right here, which is really hard to tell from my picture. But, tell you what, let me do that again. For the red, I'm just going to do the dots. It was +1, and then down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Okay, and then the blue was +7, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Right there. You can see they intersect right there. I'll put that in green. That's the one dot where the red line and the blue line intersect each other. Here's the red line. Here's the blue line. They intersect at that point right there, which has an x coordinate right here, which is 4, and a y coordinate right there, which is -1. So I'm going to click on this box right here. The parentheses will show up for you, and then you just say x is 4, y is -1. Now let me click over to Alex and do this without a pen, just using my mouse. The top equation is not in the right form, so I'm going to start with the bottom equation. I'm going to graph it as a line, so I click on my line tool, and my y-intercept is -2, so go down to -2 and click, and then my slope is 1/2. So from this point here, I'm going to go up 1 over 2 and lock it in. So you can see it's crossing at -2, and then if I went up 1 over 2, there's my other point right there. Now the top equation, unfortunately, is not in slope-intercept form. It's -x plus 2y equals -2. I'm going to come back here. It was -x plus 2y. Boy, I can't even remember. What was it? Equals -2. Okay, equals -2. I am going to add the x over. Cancels there. That's going to give me 2y is equal to, I'll put the positive x first and the -2 after it. And then I'm going to divide everybody by 2. That cancels. So that's going to give me y equals, now when you did this part right here, that's really a 1x. So what I have is a 1/2 x minus, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the y-intercept is -1 and the slope is 1/2. So come back here. This time my y-intercept is -1, which goes there. And then my slope is 1/2. So up 1 over 2. Up 1, up 1 over 2. And they have the same slope. Oh, yeah, they have the same slope. You can see they're parallel to each other. So parallel lines never touch each other. So I would click on no solution this time. And then hit check. And correct. Woohoo! And that's how it's done.